Hi, my name is Samuel and I'm from the Free State. Today we're going to quickly look into what sustainable development is. Over the years, there's been a debate between the environmentalists and the economists, whether to sustain an economy that is growing and compromise the environment, or to conserve the environment and compromise the economy. That can be attributed to the identity of sustainable development. In 1987, the World Commission on Environment and Development sat down to discuss what sustainable development is. And they resolved that sustainable development meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own. Separately, sustainability is using regenerated income and not principle. By that we mean less expenses and more income as far as economy is concerned and the use of natural resources. On the other hand, development means increasing the sufficiency of real human well-being for all. That is their comfort, happiness, and health. Sustainable development is fundamentally holistic, therefore, multiple viewpoints are needed to serve one. Hence, we have the Holy Trinity of sustainable development. Now, this Holy Trinity comprises of the environment, the social equity, and the economy. A sustainably developing world can only be attained if we can meet the center of all these three entities working as one. Now, sustainable development in a nutshell, when broken down under social equity, we realize significant improvement in our health system. This can also be attributed to technology that is improving our medicine, although we still have diseases that are incurable as yet, but there are noted improvements. Poverty is being reduced radically, although again we still have countries that are poor and people that are living under very severe poverty. Education systems all over the world are improving very rapidly. Under the economy, we see the technology of the 21st century is very wonderful. It is very convenient and making life easier. Employment also, people are being employed all over the world and the wealth of the people is increasing as well. The economy is measured by the GDP. The GDP is calculated per capita. And as a result, we see people, although there are some who are still very poor, the GDP of the world in general is very high. We have first, second, and third world countries. First world countries are those which are the richest and are in the G8. We have the second world countries. We have the third world countries. First world countries, for instance, for an example, America. America is said to be one of the countries that is most developed economically, but are the most polluters of the world. Now, that is them compromising the environment and ensuring that the economy is thriving. But we have other poor countries that cannot afford to have such economies. Those people possibly might be living in harmony with the environment, or rather, let me not use the word harmony, but and their effects are not as detrimental as those in America. Yet we still advocate that we should use conventional ways to generate income. How then is that possible when countries that are poor cannot afford to buy solar power panels or use renewable energy? Let's look into the environment, the natural resources. There are wars, or rather battles, all over the world that have been fought for oil and for other natural resources. This is as a result of their importance. If we look at the carbon dioxide emissions that have caused global change in our world, they are very detrimental to our environment. Today we experience very hot summers and very cold winters. This can be attributed to our effect to the environment, can be attributed to these emissions and pollution. One example can be made about the predictions of the future. When we look under the environmental quality, it is presumed by the Global Footprint Network that by 2025, two-thirds of the world will live in water scarcity. And of that two-thirds, 2.5 billion people will live in absolute no water areas. Another prediction can be attributed to 2050, which is said that 9 billion people will be living on Earth. How then are they going to be fed with less water? Because 70% of the water is used for irrigation. In one of his books, Malthus, the economist, once said that the global population is growing at such a rate that Earth will not be able to sustain it. Recycling can be a form of remedy, although it will have not much effect, or rather it will not have that much impact, but it will also contribute to the growth of the economy. if we use renewable energy, if we recycle stuff, then we'll be both saving the environment and creating income for the society. Ladies and gentlemen, you see on the picture 1.44 Earth, and you'll be wondering how is that possible, or why have I put that picture? On the 27th of September 2011, the then President of the United States declared that day Global Overshoot Day. Why did he say that? He said humanity is surpassing nature's budget for a year and is now operating on an overdraft. In simple terms, he meant that we are using so much of Earth's natural resources that we are going beyond its ability to replenish itself. When he was responding to this, Dr. Matters said, if we are to maintain stable societies and good lives, we can no longer sustain a widening gap between what nature is able to provide and how much our infrastructure, economies, and lifestyles require. We need to strike an equilibrium between the use of the environment and our economy to live in a sustainably developing world. Now, this is our planet Earth. In our planet Earth, we find our environment, which includes air, water, oil, coal, etc. This is our environment in which our societies live in. These societies, for them to survive and for civilization to continue, we need to generate income in a form of economy. Our economy sustains us, and our environment sustains our economy. We need to ensure that all these three entities work together. We are more one of the masters, or rather doctors, in the global footprint network calculations in 2011 once said, providing good lives for Earth's people is certainly possible, but it will not be possible using resource intensive development and growth models we have pursued in the past. That means finding new models of progress and prosperity that will limit demand on the ecological assets. It also means maintaining resources we have left as an ongoing source of wealth rather than liquidating them for fast cash. In conclusion, we are moving towards a new paradigm, from one in which resources were treated as limitless to one in which they must be prudently spent and carefully managed as financial reserves. We have had several summits on sustainable development, as you can see on your screen. We have discussed sustainability, we have discussed our development as a world. Now, should we rather compromise the environment for the economy, or the economy for the environment? That is the question of the day. I would propose that we try, by all means, to strike equality in both these. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Samuel Kese from the University of the Free State. Thank you so very much.